that happened earlier this afternoon involving some Albany police officers. Don't have much more than what I'll read off right now. A lot of it is medical related at this point, but I do want to give a general update of what happened during this incident. So today at 4:40 p.m., officers responded to a domestic call in the area of Slingerland Street and 2nd Avenue. Officers that were on that call requested more units to respond. Apparently, there was a resistive suspect that those officers were dealing with, and other officers who were in another part of town responded. And we had two separate units. Can you guys hear me over this, or should I wait? All right, you're welcome. Okay. And so those officers were dealing with a resistive suspect. They called for additional units to help. Two separate units responded from another part of town. Those units were in the area of Madison Avenue and Quayle Street, and they ultimately crashed into each other at approximately 3:55 p.m. Right now, we have 4 officers who are injured. All 4 officers have head injuries to some degree. At least 2 of those officers have fairly severe head injuries, and we have one of those officers who have some fairly severe leg injuries. All of the injuries are non-life-threatening at this point. At the time that this was prepared, Madison Avenue between North Lake Avenue and Ontario Street is closed to all traffic, and Quayle Street between Yates Street and Hamilton Street is closed. And so the mayor will speak here in a few, but we've had an opportunity to meet with the officers and the families of these officers. And again, for some of these officers involved in this, these were some fairly severe injuries. And we're offering our prayers and our thoughts to those officers as well as their families for speedy recoveries. And so with that, I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Thank you, Chief. And I want to commend the men and women of the Albany Police Department as well as the Albany Fire Department. Our paramedics were on the scene. They treated all 4 of the accident victims and transported with them by ambulance here to the hospital. We have been able to speak with all 4 of the officers who were injured, so they are able to communicate. And again, while their injuries are going to require some significant recovery, they are not life-threatening. The family members are here. We are making sure that they have what they need to feel supported, and we're hopeful that these officers will be on the mend and be home as quickly as possible. This is what happens, though. It's very challenging when we have a resistive suspect who's resisting arrest, and it was quite a challenging scene for our officers. But as I said, due to the fast response of the Albany Fire Department and the paramedics, as well as the officers of the police department that were able to get to the scene, we're here able to say that we expect all of these officers to recover and be able to go home.
But the time the first call.
Yeah, this must be 4:55.
3:40.
So let me clarify the timeline. Thank you for bringing that up. So the officers were responding to the first call at 4:40 p.m. and the crash occurred at approximately 4:55 p.m. So thank you for that clarification. And
Sorry, I
no,
didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt.
no, go ahead.
No, just gonna ask you, were there two cars going two different directions, like at an intersection type of thing? They just happened to enter pretty much the same time.
My understanding is that the two patrol cars were going in opposite directions. Yes.
Did they have their sirens on, sir?
And I don't know. So we're still looking at that piece, and that's why I say we don't have much more information to add to that. You know, we know that there was a lot of interest in this because of how bad this scene looked, and it's right in the middle of a busy intersection, and it got a lot of attention. So you know, the mayor and I wanted to at least get some information out about what that meant. And again, you know, the mayor mentioned it, but I want to also mention it again. We thank our fire department for their speedy response and in treating these officers at the scene and making sure that these officers got treatment at Albany Med in a reasonable amount of time. So, all right.
Do you think Steve was a factor in this?
And we don't know. We don't know at this point. So again, all of that stuff will be something that we look into moving forward, and we'll have more information for you at some later time. So thank you all.
Chief, do you want to say anything at all? Okay. Nice to see you, sir. Yeah, glad.
We were heading there. How you doing, sir?
How would they go in separate directions?
You said they were going opposite directions.
So one
Go
was
ahead,
on
guys.
Madison and one was on